Last Friday, I was out with a group of people from work. We went out and I really did not enjoy this time. It wasn't the right group of people for me, and we didn't get on in the way that I wanted to get on. And it just felt like there was a lot of ego and a lot of differences in regards to groups and cliques and all this stuff. And we didn't get on to the point I left early and kind of left in a rude way and an abrupt way. None of them really took it that way, but in my head, I felt like that. That was the most enjoyable moment of my night, which was just literally walking and drinking a big bottle of water. But the next night, we went out with different people from that place, from that workplace, and we had an amazing night, an incredible night, one of the best nights I've had. And it just made me think about people who try to always please people instead of being their self and go in when you're not valued in a certain place. I see so many people who are not valued, in a friend group or are not valued around a certain group of people. But what do? They stay around that group of people because of comfort, because they feel nice around them and they don't want to be lonely and they don't want to be by themselves. And I was in a position of that before with an old friend group where I didn't want to be by myself, and I stayed around these group of people that didn't treat me right, that I'd be around and they would drain me and make me feel worse instead of picking me up and making me feel better. I would stay around them to try to make myself feel part of something, to feel valued. And you could argue that's part of insecurity as well, where you can't even be left on your own, so you have to be around these people because they kind of validate you a little bit but also make you feel worse, and you don't want to be lonely and you can't be by yourself. And I find as I get older that being by myself and leaving certain situations that isn't right gives me such a sense of gratitude now and allows me to actually learn myself now. And I see people who just try to please people all the time, and it makes me sad for them because I didn't feel like they're ever going to truly grow to the same amount that they want to grow. And it makes them stay in the same position of sadness, of pain, of uncertainty and comfort, where they didn't like their life, where they didn't really try to truly break out of anything. And the surprising thing was, after this bad experience on the Friday, I went to the gym and I went in the steam room, and a guy who I know was in there, and we started having a conversation, and a really good conversation. Went in another place, the sauna, and started having another good conversation. Went in the hot tub and then started chatting to that guy who I was speaking to. And we had a good conversation, and his mate was there, and we are all joking around and having a good time. And it just made me realize that it wasn't me that was the problem. It was these people didn't value me being there. And it just felt like, why the fuck am I there? Granted, there's a lot of differences between us. So they're all on that side of doing drugs and all this stuff and being undisciplined, vaping all the time and all this stuff, where I've never even touched a drug. I've never even vaped. So you think the differences in mentality, they don't go to the gym. I go to the gym consistently. It's a big part of my life. You think about the differences. They don't watch what I eat. I watch what I eat. Think about the differences mentality-wise that we would have when you truly think about it. So me being in that situation and around these people and trying to please them is not me. And it's inauthentic towards me. So why would I try to please these people if it isn't me? Why would I? Ask yourself that. And if you're around a group of people that isn't right for you, why are you trying to please them? What results and what benefits do you actually get off of them? You can't even think of them. Maybe a little bit of admiration from them, from people who have bad habits, who don't even take care of themselves, who don't even like themselves. Why are you around them? And this has just made me think that, man. And it's one of these things where you gotta be smart with who you dedicate your time to, because it affects your subconscious. The next day I woke up and I was a little bit in my own head and I was a bit frustrated. I was actually angry because I felt like I can be around so many different people that value me properly, that we get on well, that we have a good time, that we have good interactions, that truly value me. And I could help people and make people feel good and have good interactions with people. Yeah, I'm around a group of people who don't care. So why am I around this? Why would I put myself in that situation? You shouldn't. And then it's obviously hard to leave because you're around them and then they're fucking trying to keep you there when you don't even want to be there. But you just got to do stuff for yourself. And then the next day was the complete opposite, where we all got on well and we had an amazing time, and it's a different group of people. And I had a brilliant night, one of the best nights I've had. So it just makes me truly understand that you shouldn't try to please people all the time. Don't please people. Don't go out your way to please a certain person. You will find this in your life, and this is what I found, where you go out your way to please a certain person and it backfire. Whether that's a girl that you liked, whether that's a friend group that you liked, whether it's you just trying to please a certain group of people. It could even be your family. Let's say you're trying to please them, but it isn't you. It isn't you. And you hurt yourself and you make yourself feel terrible in the process. You make yourself feel like it isn't you. And you feel lost, you feel lonely, you feel like, oh yeah, I've pleased these people, but it isn't me. So what the fuck's the point? What's the fuck's the point if it isn't you? And this sounds selfish, but what's the point? What's the point if it doesn't feel right in you? You're living someone else's dream. You're making other people happy and not yourself happy. And what does that lead to? That leads to loneliness anyway, because it isn't you. And you get home and you know it isn't you. This is what I found with this, man. And I don't want you lot to just go out your way and please people and try to fit in. A lot of people are undisciplined. They don't know themselves. They don't like themselves. And they'll look at you and think, oh, he's a dickhead. Oh, he's a prick. Or he does what he wants for himself. And he works on stuff. Or he goes to the gym. Or I don't. Oh, there's something wrong with him. How is there something wrong with someone who takes care of himself? How is there something wrong with someone who looks after himself? You know the answer. There isn't anything wrong with that. If anything, that's a positive. And when you're around negative people, it hurts you. And this is what I found as I get older now. I'm gonna stop giving time to people who ain't right. Whenever someone's negative, I just change the topic or ignore them, or just like kind of say, "Oh yeah, it is what it is." Just move on. You can't have negative people. You can't have that in your mind now. It's something that can drain you and can take you off your path, take you off who you want to be. Don't be pleasing these people who don't care about you. Because I guarantee when you show your true self, when you show who you truly are, they're gonna think, oh, that's not him anyway. That's not who he was or he's changed. When in reality, that's who you always were. I had that. I started being myself and then my whole friend group started messing up. So it didn't go well. But that was not me initially. It was me trying to please people. And it made me not feel good in myself. And it takes a man, it takes discipline, it takes true self-worth to be yourself in a group of people who's different to you. And this is what you understand as you get older. It takes that, man. And you start to understand yourself truly. And I'd rather be like that, even though people may say that's wrong or whatever. And you kind of got to mold yourself sometimes to please people, let's say in a corporate sense or whatever. But you want to be you. You being you, people will love it. And when people love that, you feel a real sense of gratitude for that friendship and for that relationship. If you're not yourself and you're around people who like you for not being yourself, they're not your real friends and you're not going to like yourself truly. And when you show your true self, they're not going to like it. Be yourself. Stop trying to please all these people. Dedicate to the things that are right for you and be smarter with yourself. And if it's not going right with a certain group of people, take yourself out of that situation. You'll have a lot more peace and a lot more mental clarity.